Hi, everybody. Um, I think we are like a minute or so early, and so I'll wait for a while until 6 p.m. Uh, Pacific time, that is. And today I've put back my face into the screen. We'll see how it turns out. It'd be nice if we could have like just a cut out blurred background, but I really couldn't be bothered to do all that because sometimes it flickers. So you just have to put up with that blank background there. Okay, so topic for today is gonna be like playing around with the Google's image generation model. It's called Gemini 2.5 Flash Image, but Google has this tradition of giving them these code names. So this thing is basically known as Nano Banana everywhere else. And then uh, if you actually their Gemini 3.0 Pro is internally known as Lithium Flow. So that's also just a tidbit of information. So what is Moment? All right, Moment is a no-code full-stack web app development platform, and we aim to help non-technical founders and solopreneurs to build and scale their MVP. So we also have our integrated AI agent builder, which we will be using today to build an image generation application. And for today, we will have a coupon code that you can use for the next 2 days. And it's gonna be, if I'm not wrong, it'll be a 30% off for the next few days. And it's just Nano Moment. We don't have Nano Banana here, just Nano Moment. And so let's get into the little bit of background of Nano Banana. It's a pretty neat image generation model that is released like a month or so ago by Google, and then it's really good at generating and editing images based on prompts, and the prompt itself could be an image or an image plus text or just text. And it's very good at generating photorealistic images, and positionally it is very accurate. And if you want to do in painting, so adding some stuff into an existing image, it is very precise. And I've actually already built out the thing, and I even have a URL. So it's just gonna be nano-banana.momen.cloud. You guys can play around with it if you want. It is, well, it's free to use. There is going to be a paywall, but you can just use like the test card from Stripe to do it. So it's 4242, a bunch of 42s, and I'll show you how to do that later if you're not familiar with Stripe. So why do we use Moment to create this thing? Well, Moment has everything you need to build a fully fledged monetizable application with or without AI. So we have the database, we have the backend workflows, we have integrated AI, and we have a front end. So you have everything you need, and also we have payment integration and permission and all that nice stuff, which is really just backend functionalities. Now let's walk through what this thing does. I've already signed up, so I'm just gonna be using my account that I have already signed up for. If you haven't, you should go and uh, sign up. All right. So that's just, obviously I didn't spend a lot of time building this thing out. It's to get an idea of what we can do. So So we have username, that's me, has paid, false. Okay, so we have Nano Banana. We can upload some image here, and we can describe my vision. All right, what do I want to create? Let's say that I just want to do a corporate photo, and I'm gonna upload an image that is not very corporate like. So I'm gonna find myself a image of myself that I took with. Hold on, I need to find an image of myself. Sorry, I don't have that many good images of myself. They all look weird. Okay, an ostrich would do. So I'm just gonna upload an image of an ostrich, uh, and me. I'm gonna enhance the whole thing with it. Oh, well, we haven't paid. Here's a paywall, and that's a nice thing. You can directly integrate paywalls and payment methods into Moments so that when people do pay for it, and we're just gonna use a test card. This is a um, test Stripe account. So that's like in the sandbox mode. So you don't actually need to pay anything. So we're just gonna click pay now. Oh, I think that was me trying to be very clever. I was trying to be very clever to so that I was using permission to control it. But this we'll have to come back to here, and I'll show you why that this is the case. All right, so let me just refresh this and re-upload my fancy ostrich, a corporate photo. Enhance with AI. You can see that now I can actually pay. I didn't. Yeah, I was trying to be very clever with the permission stuff. And that also demonstrates that the permission thing works on the back end, so you can't really get around it on the front end. So this thing has now enhanced our prompt into something that is more suitable to be consumed by Nano Banana. A photorealistic headshot of a diverse business professional with a friendly and confident expression set against a blurred modern office background. Okay, let's see how this turns out with an ostrich in the background. We'll create that now. And typically it takes no more than like, let's say like 10 seconds. Nano Banana is fairly fast. And that's also okay, here we go. Oh, so that is me. The ostrich is now magically gone. So I mean that's a good thing. A Nano Banana actually understand that I'm the main focus of this. All right, so that's not too bad. So let's try something else. Let's try to do, let's say, a cartoon, like stylized illustration or something. Uh, as a sticker. Okay, let's see what that comes up with. So first of all, again, we'll get a better prompt. We'll get a prompt improver, and we'll see how that's built in a seg. Okay, a cute cartoon style sticker with a smiling sloth. Ah, that's not good. I forgot to include the image into the prompt improver. So we'll see that. We'll try to get that. Now let's of that man. Okay, that'll be me hanging from the branch. Okay, that's funny. What else? Let's see. Great now. What does that do? We'll take 10 seconds. We'll get a fancy image. That's just me hanging upside down from a branch. Okay, so that's not too bad. Now let's go to the user center. So I obviously is I'm a paid user, and you have a personal library of what you have created in the past. So as I said, Moment has everything you need to create a complete application where you have a paywall and then everything else. Now, how is that built? The thing is really simple. You got like 3 pages. You got the registration page, you got the user center, which we just saw, and then we have this generate page. On this generate page, you really just have the upload section, and you have something here which you can see that is actually a conditional view. You get 2 states, like one for improving the prompt, and the other one for once the prompt is refined. We should really just call it prompt refined, but let's see, prompt refined. Okay. Yeah, so once the prompt is refined, you get the 2 different buttons, one for create it and the other one just to regenerate the prompt. Okay, so let's take a look at what happens when you click the Enhance with AI button. It first tries to determine whether you have paid for this service, and that is where it determines, like, if you haven't paid, we're just going to create an order for you, and it will create an order using an action flow, and that those are backend workflows. And the reason we use that than just inserting a order directly is because we don't really want the user to be able to control the pricing, because the order will contain the total amount to be paid, and that is not something you should hand over to the user. And once that's done, we'll use the output of this node to pay using Stripe. And then once that's done, it will refresh login data. And then once that's paid, you will go and start a conversation with an AI agent, which in this case is the prompt optimizer. And as I said, the prompt optimizer didn't really have access to the image because I forgot about it. So let's fix that right now. Why not? So we'll go here. We have, we go to the AI, we have the prompt optimizer. So instead of just the original prompt, we'll get an image. And that's all we need to do. And then obviously we will have to bind it in the thing here. So we have start conversation. Now you can actually take the image, which is going to come from the image picker on the front end. Okay, let's see. The other one is if you have already paid for it. So this is not paid. If you already paid for it, and then you just directly start a conversation with the prompt optimizer. And obviously we have to fix that input here as well. Now all we need to do is just to synchronize the changes for the backend, because the AIs do live in the backend. And I think there's another button we need to change, which is the regenerated prompt thing, because regenerating the prompt, oh, that's pretty smart. We just go back. So that's good. Okay. So now this time we should no longer have that issue. Oh, by the way, this is the published view. The one we are looking at here is a debugging view. We call it the mirror. So we don't need to republish the front end because that takes like 20-30 seconds, which we don't want to wait for. We'll sign in, and then because I have all these broken passwords. So this time we'll do the same thing by uploading my image with the ostrich. Where's my ostrich image? Okay, we'll do that, and this time we'll do a stylized sticker cartoon. Okay, so this time it won't try to put sloth and anything in there because, well, it now can see the Gemini 2.0, 2.5 Pro can now see the the content of image. Yeah, start of a man with a glasses taking a selfie with a comical photo bombing ostrich. Okay, so that's cool. So let's see what comes out of that. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what we were expecting. So that's pretty nice. Okay, so the other thing that I kind of messed up, as you saw previously, was I was trying to be fairly clever with the payment thing. So why is that? So how did we set up, sorry, with the permission thing, how did I set that up? So inside AI configuration, as the permission inside the permission configuration, I can set the permission for these AIs, for these agents. And in this case, I said if the user has paid is true, then you can get to use it. Otherwise, you can't. So everything is controlled in the backend, but the payment system works with a webhook. So basically, if the user succeeds in calling Stripe, and the Stripe will then have to call Moment, and then within the action flow here, you get the Stripe payment action flow, which we'll use to update the account. So now this is an asynchronous thing. So we by the time the request to pay has succeeded, the backend really hasn't received the request to update the account, so we have an issue. So one way we can fix this is by really just in here, instead of directly starting that conversation, we can just remove this entire thing. So by the time the logging user data has refreshed, the we'll just let's see, how should I do this? Maybe I'll add a delayed function. Yeah, we can do that. The other way we can do this is by subscribing. So instead of running it off, instead of running it off the okay, so yeah, so we can just do that. Get a new data source and we'll subscribe to ourselves. And then we'll do a subscription, so that will update live. So you don't even have to refresh user update, user login status. So that will be the logged in user's ID. And if the logged in user, yeah, so okay, so user logged in user's ID, so that's good. And then all these conditions will then be based off that subscription. So that will update in real time. So in action here, we go to this conditional. So instead of logged in user has paid, we'll do in page data source has paid is true, is false, or it's null. So I'm going to change that. And also I will change the name of the source 0 because that's really not very readable. False or is null. Okay, so that's done. And I will change the name of the data source. We'll call this just the account. Okay. So, and obviously, let's go to the database. That's just me. I'm just gonna change myself to not paid. Right. So let's do that. So by this time, I go into here. If I try to do anything with enhancements AI, it's going to be very angry. So a sun, like in a photo. See, it now asks me to pay. We didn't even refresh the page, but let's see. By the time we click pay now, the database should change. So once we click pay now and then we refresh this page here, you should see the pay has paid thing to be true. So okay, so that's not I forgot to change. Sorry, forgot to change the action here. Forgot to delete this action. Get rid of that, and I can just delete this entire thing. It will just pay, and then you have to click again, basically. Let's check the database inside here. Jiang Yao Kai now is paid, so that's good. So we go to Mira, and then let's rerun this entire thing because obviously last time was still a failure. False. Now down here, I click. It should ask me to pay. This is all updating in real time because we are using subscription. Okay, so we'll pay now. This time it would just say payment succeeded, and then I could just say a photo of the sun. So that takes us to the actual improved prompt, and then with that we can generate a good image. Now, in the example that I'm showing you, wow, that's pretty cool actually. In the example that I'm showing you, I am not using number of times that you can generate. I'm just using a single field to determine whether somebody has paid me or not. Obviously, that's not realistic. A realistic scenario will involve either a time limit or a count limit. So the way we can do that is by just introducing a field on the account table, and I call it like credit. And then you just reduce the you can just use an action flow and then reduce the that's an image get prompt. Let's see. Get current user, get prompt, image generation, and we're outputting. Oh, never mind. That's just that's a toy. But we can be. Let me just create that. That's actually create image. Let's just call that a create image. And what we can do here is we'll take in the prompts. Okay, and then we will call. Oh, you can see this is now grayed out because for AI to be used, you have to use asynchronous mode because there's performance issues in there. Run AI, start a thing. We call it imgen, and image generation will pass in the prompt. And then when that's successful, you would then first you have to write it into the database, but we'll skip that one. We'll update the data. Actually, we need to first get our account ID. So get account ID, and this one is reduce credit. And imagine if I did that, I should have just created this one's credit, and then this is big int. And within action flow, you can then reduce the credit. So this one, you go to decrement and you just put in 1 here. Obviously, you would need a filter where the ID is equal to the current user account ID, and then that's all you need to do. somebody might wonder, well, actually, uh, then you have to like use this credit thing to control the permission. So that way you do that is then you go to here, go to your logged. First, you have to disable the image generation thing, the create image thing for anonymous users, and within here you can set it up so that you only enable that when the logged in users credit is greater than 0. That's how you do like permission control based on counts. But obviously, I'm not gonna do that because I haven't really set it up. There's also no like default values for these. The payment within the payment callback, I didn't really update anything, so that's not gonna work. Okay, so that's mostly it in terms of Nano Banana. There's a lot of a lot of things you can play around with. Basically, you can like edit images, right? And you can offer that as a service. And oh, sorry, I forgot to explain one thing. How did the prompt optimizer work? So people are not very great with prompting because you have to follow a certain set of rules. They're almost like writing code without actually writing code. And so the way we do it is first we'll pass in the original prompt and then we'll tell the AI what exactly you need to do. And we put in some limits in here. And most importantly, we will give AI a list of playbook, a list of rules, which is a playbook. So that's actually coming from this table. So we've put in all the stuff that Google told us is a good idea. So this one here, for example, says if you're editing something and you want high fidelity detail preservation, use a provided image, place element from blah 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 onto image 1. We didn't even have 2 image inputs in here, but if we did, that would be how we do it. Place the logo from image 2. So okay, that's one thing. Generating. Let's take a look at sequential art. We should maybe do something like that. It'll be fun. Okay, let's do that. I'm gonna put the ostrich again because we're in love with ostriches. Okay, so we'll do sequential art. What was it called? Sequential art of based on this image. Okay, so let's take a look at what comes out. It'll be pretty fun. And it's, let's say what's inside here. A comic template structure, a single comic book panel of some style, in the foreground character, blah, 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 in the background, blah, 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 blah. And we also even have an example prompt. So that's pretty good. I don't know why we have these quotes there, but that's not necessary. Okay, so we have that a single comic book panel in a vibrant anime-inspired style in the foreground. A young man with glasses takes a selfie. His expression is mixed surprise and laughter with a large, curious ostrich photobombs the shot. In the background, a sunny wildlife park with a thatched roof hut. Oh, caption box here. Well, this is a new profile. Okay, so let's take a look. That's pretty fun, eh? And imagine if you offer certain services like this to your clients. That's a single one. I wanted like 4, but whatever. That's that. Yeah, so the way we do it is we gave AI a bunch of rules on how to formulate a good prompt for Nano Banana, and then we gave some examples, and then you basically run it through that. And obviously, you can combine all that into a single action flow, so you can be improving the prompt and then just run it directly without even showing the user the improved prompt. That's all up to you. And maybe that is what you want, because like if the user already knows exactly the prompt, then maybe they just copy it and generate it on Gemini rather than paying you to do it. Okay, and then there's before we go, there is a promotion that we're running now. So from now to the end of this year, um, you might be able to see it here. We should make it more obvious, but Gemini 2. All the Gemini family stuff is going to be super cheap to use on Moment, and from now until the end of December 2025. In fact, they're all 99% off. You can see that the conversion rate is 1%, is like sorry, 400 one sorry, what 1/420th of 4.0 GPT 4.0, and then it's even Gemini 2.5 Pro is like 1/12th of 4.0 mini, and like 1% of GPT 5. Same thing goes for 2.5 Flash, and then for limited amount of time till the end of the year, we're also giving you 100,000 AI points, which is quite a lot. I think that translates to something like 19 million tokens, or 15,000 image generations on Gemini 2.5 Flash. And yeah, play around with it. You can have up to one action flow and up to one AI agent, even if it's free. So play around. You get plenty of tokens to experiment and explore Moen. And thank you very much for coming today. And if you have any questions, here's the last bit of opportunity. I'll wait for 30 seconds if you have any questions. Anything is fine. Doesn't have to be moment related. Doesn't have to be Nano Banana related. Anything. And I think that is a deafening no. All right. Thank you very much. See you next time.